Am I being recorded? Get on my face, man.
Cover on your side because
It smells really bad.
You don't do that.
I guess you can't talk to us now, huh?
I think it was a setup. It was a trick.
You did a great job.
And now, Inside 7 on your side with Ross and Sean.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Some real hot topics tonight.
Yep, lots of stuff going on, folks. Hi, everybody. That's Ross. I'm Sean.
The number to call tonight is 703-387-1020, and we're going to be talking about issues that affect you right at home in your pocketbook with credit card issues.
But consumer crunch, all that stuff, man. Very important.
You've got something that popped up this week that's quite important for a lot of people to know about.
Yeah, this little piece of paper that we got printed out here by Lauren, our producer. What had happened is, Ross, I went to, you go online, you pay your bills online. I go to Dominion to pay my electric bill, right? But then on there, you can also go to what's called like the check free. It's like a service supplied by Dominion Power. And up there pops this note that says, please note that you only see this message once and must take immediate action on it. What happened between, let's see, December 2nd, 12:30 a.m. and 10:10 a.m., something hacked their system. And so if you logged on between that time and used a Windows operating system
To pay online
your bill, your power bill, and you reached a blank screen, and here's the one that gets me, it says, after reaching the blank screen, your computer's virus protection did not tell you via pop-up or other message that malicious software was detected. Well, that's kind of funny because, like, how would you know that a window didn't pop up? You know what I mean? And so this is for anybody out there who has Dominion Power and has paid their bill online at any time. Because, Ross, do you know when you paid your bill?
Yes.
Like, do I write down and I say, okay, I paid it at 10:10 a.m.?
Well, I do, actually.
Well, I don't. I'm like most people.
Yeah.
I'm like most people, and I'll pay it, and I'll say, okay, I'll forward pay. I'll say, okay, pay it on this date, pull it out of my credit card on this day, but I might have paid it at this time. I have no idea. And so they're offering complimentary copy of Virus Scan Plus software, which is installed. It's a McAfee virus thing. They're offering free software. But if you're out there, folks, and you use Dominion Power and you use their website, check free. I think it's check free customer service, so you can contact them if you notice this thing popping up, and even if you didn't, because who knows if the next time you're paying your bill, if you're going to see this thing.
So basically, you tried to pay your bill online, and your information got hijacked by a pop-up window.
Well, that's
so somebody could be using it for malicious purposes, getting your login information, financial information.
Yeah, you're punching in your credit card information. It's sitting there, and then you think you're giving it to Dominion Power, but you're not. You're giving it to Joe Blow sitting back at his computer as the numbers are popping up.
And the people would have been affected on December 2nd between 12 and 10 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, but I don't buy that even then, man. I would be concerned. I'd be contacting them no matter what. If it were me, which I did, I'd contact them anyway.
Well, while we're on financial issues, the credit card crunch is hitting a lot of people.
Yeah, it has consumers feeling like the banks, Ross, they're sticking it to them. Complaints deal with everything from changing credit limits to increasing the rates to closing accounts with little or no notice.
You know, Sean, you and I have talked about this. The government's new credit card holders Bill of Rights couldn't come at a better time. And banks had better pay attention to this because they can't have it both ways. They can't have their hand out for looking for money from the government while at the same time closing the door on consumers. Just listen to this American Express story.
My card is American Express.
Big names tend to create big business. But what about the little guy? Here's Anna Gibson's story.
American Express, this is ridiculous.
Anna Gibson doesn't run with the animals. She doesn't make movies. She works in an office and pays her bills on time.
I have good credit. I've never been late on a payment, never missed a payment.
Until now, her card was American Express.
I will cancel my American Express account. I will never use them again. Ever.
Why? Because of American Express convenience checks. She says she followed the rules to confirm her credit, wrote 2 checks totaling $1,225, but they were returned NSF because American Express changed the rules, reducing her credit from $6,000 to $2,500.
I think it's wrong. I think there's something needs to be done. People need to be aware of this. This is ridiculous.
Something is being done. The government is clamping down. Some big changes. Credit card companies will now be required to give 45 days notice on changes to your account. Apply interest more fairly. Give consumers reasonable time to pay. But all this is not until 2010. Anna needs help now. So, a quick fax to American Express applies the needed pressure in days.
Great.
Her credit is restored, and American Express will pay all penalties and fees incurred.
Guys are awesome, because I don't think I'd ever gotten anywhere without your stepping in and helping.
Yeah, she's just one story. Remember how frustrated she was when we interviewed her?
Well, yeah, she was so frustrated, and I was frustrated for her, Ross, because I get those stupid things, and I tell people I don't want them. I'll contact the credit card company, say I don't want these convenient
They're not
checks.
so convenient.
Exactly, that's the problem. I mean, you look at this situation and you're talking, okay, we're going to give you these, and then they go and change the rules on you midstream. It's a bunch of bull.
And also the interest rates on those things are enormous. By the time you add in the fees that they charge and the interest starts racking up right away, and when you pay off your credit card bill, it's not applied to those convenience charges. Those rates stay at the higher rate. It pays off your purchases first. So you're racking up a lot of interest, and the APR, the annual percentage rate, is well above usury rates.
And it's always on the back of those checks when you flip them over, really, really tiny print, like 24.99 or 29.99%.
But it's when you add in the fees, and then then you're charged a percentage of the cost of the check, the amount you're writing. It's a lot of money. And we also posted a blog about this. If you want to see her complaint and her total frustration, we've got her blog and her message to American Express posted online. Just go to 7 on your side and click on blogs and take a look at it there. All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, get your calls ready because we're going to take those calls.
Well, we're going to see a couple.
Coming up.
We're going to have a couple about the credit card crunch.
I think anybody should go through this.
And trouble at the DMV, a stolen car, a $205 ticket, and a year-long battle will bring this woman's fight to an end.
Inside Washington with Gordon Peterson, Saturday nights at 7 on News Channel 8.
If you need legal counsel, call the law office of Jimmy A. Bell, PC. Attorney Bell has received awards from the U.S. House of Representatives, the Senate of Maryland, the City Council of the District of Columbia, and the City Council of Baltimore, just to name a few.
Hi, I'm Jim Bell. Have you been discriminated against on your job? Have you been a victim of police brutality? Has one of your loved ones died because of someone else's negligence? Make an appointment, and let's talk about your case.
There are a lot of questions you need to ask yourself when buying a new car. Is leasing or financing still available? Is it dependable? How good is the resale value? Fortunately, we have the answer to all of these. The best overall value in its class. The Civic. Honda. Simple. Go to shophonda.com for attractive lease rates on the Civic.
My name is Phyllis Ellis, and I am a cancer survivor. The surgeon said, you have cancer. Even his touch was cold. It was like I didn't have life. So I said, well, you know what? I'll be back. And I never came back. I called the Cancer Treatment Center of America. They took me by the hand. They explained things to me. They're compassionate. They feel my pain. They knew me better than I knew myself. The energy that I got from them, I took that and I gave it to the patients. I said, let me tell you something. We are fighters, and fighters win.
Call now and we'll send you this free DVD that shows you how the most compassionate group of people anywhere puts you at the center of everything we do. Advanced medical treatment combined with unique supportive therapies give you treatment options you may not even know exist.
Oh my God, I got my life back again. Just want to sing every day. I got a song in my heart. I'm healthy. I'm good.
Please call today.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. 703-387-1020. Ross, it's an overused statement, but news you can use. It's available here. Yeah. 3 letters. Shock the daylight, scare everybody. DMV. But you throw 2 more letters in, DC, DMV, and people are scared to death.
Oh, we never get complaints about the DMV, Sean. Come on. Actually, we do get a lot of complaints. All right. And it's a story that a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, it does. I mean, we're just talking the Department of Motor Vehicles, big trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of trouble. Wait till you hear what kind of roadblocks we ran into. We've all done it. The frustrating long waits, the hassles, hassling over documents. Dealing with the DMV is very difficult. And the DC woman's hassles were so horrendous, she had to call us for help.
It was my first car.
But last year, Joan Lewis's Toyota Camry was stolen.
I don't think anybody should go through this.
She's not as upset about her lost car as she is about this, a ticket for expired tags. $205 left on the car after it was taken.
All I was told is, we never received your money.
Next in line, please.
Several trips to the DMV left her frustrated.
I left there crying.
She provided proof that she had paid her tags and that the vehicle had been stolen. Nearly a year later, when she went to register a new vehicle, she was shocked to discover the ticket was still outstanding, and she'd have to pay it. Otherwise, she wouldn't get her temporary tags. So we pay a visit to the district's DMV head office, demanding answers. Thankfully, Communications Director Regina Williams takes time to go over the case.
Murphy's Law of everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
And in about 30 minutes, it's cleared up.
They'll send you the one check for the $205 and the other check for the $55.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
A $260 refund.
You've been so wonderful, and I thank you so much. Thank you, 7 on your side.
She was sweet. You know, not only did she get her money back, but after that story, the DMV really cleaned things up with customer service, and we haven't received many more complaints in that nature since, actually.
Yeah, you know, it's too bad, though, that Regina that you saw in the story, who was so helpful, she actually doesn't work there anymore, but man, was she so sweet and so quick to get the problem solved.
And that's the way a PR person should handle it.
And how much you want to bet that a lot of people watching the show right now are being like, man, I wish 7 on your side would take me down to the DMV.
Well, the problem we have now...
that line, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the problem we have now with the DMV are tickets.
Yes.
And the tickets being issued in D.C. I just got another complaint on the hotline tonight. I was listening to it. A woman who got a $30 ticket for parking where they're street cleaning, and she says there are no signs. And we've gone out and looked at signs in D.C. and you know, if you've driven in D.C., you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, we've actually done that sign story too, and Ross.
Yeah.
And also, I got a ticket when I was at your place one time for having they said my tire was on the curb. I go down, I'm like, no, it isn't. It's turned sideways, so I don't coast down the hill backwards.
That's one thing they do very well is give tickets and collect money on tickets, and it's very difficult to prove and get them overturned. But we're going to help this woman. I started. So.
Okay.
All right.
The tough credit market is creating a feast for thieves, preying on consumer fears.
We have been getting the calls about the latest scams, and let's have a listen to this hotline call.
I think there's a credit card fraud on cell phones. I've received 2 cell phone calls today saying my Visa card has been canceled, asking me to punch in my numbers on my Visa card. I called Visa immediately, and they say there is no problem with my credit card. This is a fraud. Thank you.
You know, it's really interesting those are still coming through, but the thing is, people still get hooked by it.
Well, yeah, we should be starting to call this show the scam show, because that's just phishing, another way to do it. Where someone calls you, and you saw there on the graphic, it's saying, never give your information out on a cold call. A cold call meaning they call you. You don't know who you're talking to. You could be talking to anybody. So if you get a call saying, hey, what's your password? What's your security number? What's your social security number? What's your, driver's license number? Folks, never, ever, for any reason, give that out.
You know, and it's on the text messages, but it's interesting because of it's what you talked about earlier in the show when people are paying online with Dominion Power and that pop-up window came. It's phishing online on the internet. It's the same thing, trying to get your personal information. They also do it old-fashioned way, call you up and say, hey, this is your bank calling someone's using your credit card fraudulently. Yep. And can you give us your social security number, et cetera. You don't know who you're dealing with.
No, never buy into it. Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's what we're talking about, the text messaging. So have a listen to this one.
I recently received a text message, and it stated that it was an automated message claiming that my ATM card had been suspended. So I'm not a member of this credit union. Has our identities been compromised? I mean, where can we get more information? If this is going on, we need to know what the situation is. So I thank you very much. Bye.
All right. You know, there are a lot of websites where you can go to get information. There's the Anti-Phishing Working Group. It involves banks and financial institutions. It's got a lot of good information there. You're wondering why. How do I know all this?
No,
because
I do know.
I just spent the last hour researching
because it's time to do a story on it.
It's time to do a story on it.
Another one.
And we're going to do a story on it. In fact, we've got a case of a woman who lost $9,500 using a credit card, debit card, and unfortunately she was a victim of a phishing scam on the internet, and they got her PIN number because she thought it was a legitimate website.
They didn't get it. She gave it.
She gave it to them.
And that's what we're preaching here, folks, as much as we can. Don't give that information.
But she was the victim of fraud, and according to the Federal Reserve and according to the American Bankers Association, when you have a debit charge that's a fraudulent charge and you report it, they're supposed to suspend. I'm all excited because I think she deserves to get her money back.
She does. But here's the thing. Did they suspend any further charges or charges up to that point? Like, did she see a $9,500 charge and then call?
She's not supposed to pay for that charge charge. If she reports it right away, it's for $50 per occurrence per card, or up to $500 if she delays. Visa and MasterCard now have a zero tolerance policy in place where you're not responsible for any fraudulent charges.
Well, that's what we always talk about on this show is like if you're going to buy something, if you're going to give out any sort of information, use the credit card because there are at least protections built in. You can have the ability to dispute is what you really want to use on your credit card.
And here's where it comes down. With the debit card, if it's a merchant's charge where you actually have to sign the debit card like a check card, you can protect it by that. Where it gets into the gray area is if you give away your PIN number, it's like giving someone direct access to your account and you may not have protections. We're going to explore that further in upcoming shows.
Well, there's also this thing too on the back. I'm going to hide my number because I know, in case those guys are out there watching the show, but that little 3-digit number on the back of the card, the CID number, that too, do not give that out. Even though they call and ask for it, that just proves that you have the card in your hand. You don't have to give that information. You can actually, and I've done it, talking to somebody on the line trying to make a purchase, saying, well, I don't want to give you that number. Like, we have to have that number to get the charge, but they don't.
And here's the issue, though, that if you're online and you're doing some online shopping, sometimes they want that customer identification number, but if you know the website, you know you're on a legitimate website, there's no harm in that way. They're
that's not what we're talking about.
They're trying to protect fraudulent charges from overseas. They want to know you have that card in your hand and you are the authorized user.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what we're talking about. This is when someone calls you up and you think, someone's coming to soliciting information from you. Not if you're going to Amazon.com or you found the website. Okay, folks, we got more 7 on Your Side coming up. Viewers are going to call in about their plastic problems and their dropping credit scores.
You're watching Shine on Ross on
Inside 7.
On Inside 7 on your side.
Be right back.
Be right back.
Kyle Osborne weather on News Channel 8. More local, more often.
You're good at your job, but the voice in your head keeps telling you you can do more. Now's the time to build your better future. You know you have what it takes to be a leader. If you want to be the person in charge of the project, enroll in the construction management program at the Westwood College School of Business. For more information, visit westwood.edu today or call for your free career success kit, including salary information. You can get your bachelor's degree in just 3 years. Take career-focused classes from day one from instructors who are working professionals. They know construction management and will teach you exactly what you need to know to succeed. Take charge of your career. Enroll in the construction management program. But hurry, classes start soon. Call or visit westwood.edu for your free career success kit. Call 1-800-340-9849.
There's never been a sunroom beautiful or durable enough for your home until now. The Owens Corning Fiberglass SunSuite Sunroom. Its outstanding energy efficiency provides the comfort you expect from Owens Corning, and your sunroom can be painted to match your home perfectly. Relaxing at home has never been more enjoyable. Owens Corning SunSuite Sunrooms. Finally, there's a sunroom that feels like a room.
For a free consultation, call 1-800-NEW-ROOM, and don't forget to ask about our window products. Call 1-800-NEW-ROOM now.
Want the lowest price guaranteed on quality carpet?
Empire exceeded my expectations, especially when we got our quote. The 2 major retailers we originally approached were much more expensive.
Empire offers the lowest price guaranteed, plus shop-at-home convenience. We install next day with no payments till 2010.
The quality of our installation was top-notch. We'll recommend Empire to anybody.
Call today.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
And welcome back. It seems we hit a nerve.
Yeah, Ross, you talk about this. We talked about that American Express story earlier.
Absolutely.
And we told you about a woman who had trouble with her American Express account and about how they were getting those NSF the checks, and then they were just, they were cashing them, and they're saying, oh, never mind, we're not giving you the account.
Well, they changed the parameters.
Right.
They changed their line of credit.
Seems like it's not just American Express, right?
No, it's not. Just listen to this call we got from another viewer who was having the same kind of problem. Take a listen.
I was just watching the news about a lady with an American Express card. Well, something similar happened to me like that. I have a MasterCard, and I was in the supermarket, and I went to buy something that was like $8 and change, and it kept saying, call this, the company. And they told me I only had a balance of $11. I said, how could that be? And I have a $25,000 limit because they just raised it. And they told me that they decreased it to $3,000 and something. And I asked why, and they said they're doing it to everyone.
Okay, Ross, so supposedly everyone's being caught in this trap. What can consumers watching the show do?
Well, in a case like that where they're changing it midstream at the point of purchase, there's not a lot you can do, but I can tell you what's going to be happening is new rules are coming into place, which means that they will have to give you notice of a change coming, and they can't do anything for 45 days, no changes to your account. And they need to give you proper notice, and there is notification of 15 days required in law right now. So perhaps her bank or her issuing card company stepped ahead of that. We don't know. Maybe they sent her something in the mail, she missed it, she didn't see it. But at the same time, they just send her a notice upping her credit limit, which is what happened to the woman with American Express. So she goes and uses those convenience checks, and then they bounce them on her. You know, this is not right. It's happening to people with their lines of credit, with their home mortgage loans, and they're just dropping and suspending those because credit is tough. But they're changing the rules, like having it both ways. They got their hand out to the government, and they're shutting the door to consumers, and it's just not fair.
That's my question. Who are they helping? They're getting all this money from the government. Who are they helping?
And that's exactly what Congress is trying to determine. What did they do with the money? What did the banks do with that $300 billion they got? Account for it. Where did it go? How did it help consumers? Did it help homeowners? And I believe we're going to find out it did not.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, folks, besides costing people a lot of money, these type of credit card problems can cause you a problem with, Ross, your credit score.
Well, that can mess your ability to get, a mortgage, your rent, anything, a home loan. Listen to this caller's story.
I'm having problems with credit card companies closing my accounts, not because of over the limit, not because of bad payment records. As a matter of fact, the accounts that they're closing are accounts that have a zero balance, and that's having, to my knowledge, a negative effect on my credit score. So I would like to know what, if anything, I can do to maintain my credit score.
Well, she could open up more cards if they give them to her.
One of the things that I talk about on this show all the time with you is that you're going to, folks, you want to monitor your credit. You want to make sure that you go to like freecreditreport.com and get a monthly report of your credit and get a credit report every 6 months, but pay attention to your score. I think that's very important out there. Like people just kind of like, oh, I'll look at it whenever I need a new card. No, monitor it, pay attention, because if there are problems, your accounts are being closed, there are things that you can do, and that's what, not only complain, but fight. You don't have to just say, oh, they're saying, oh, okay, well, here's a low negative credit score. Ross, you can fight that stuff, and you can call the company, you can call Equifax, you can call the credit unions, and you can fight to keep your credit score up where it should be.
Well, she was right. It does affect your score.
It does, yeah.
Accounts close, your access to credit diminishes, you don't have as much available credit, and your payments are still high on other cards.
Well, that's how the credit works. It works.
Yeah.
What happens, it's kind of like a measurement of how much available credit do you have and how much are you using, and you lower that gap, so it lowers your score. So if you can have a bigger gap with a more credit cards, you have a better score.
Yeah, it actually helps you to have more credit cards, not with the balances to the limit, but and actually it also helps improve your credit score if you just pay the minimum balance over a couple of months, allow them to make a little bit of interest
on
it rather than paying it off,
so
that they make something off, and your credit score will uptick. We both have played around with this because we both subscribe.
It's a little competition between us to see who can get the highest credit score. I'm winning. Okay. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the tables are sort of turned on Ross and me. We'll tell you how.
Let's Talk Live, weekdays at noon, only on News Channel 8.
If you need legal counsel, call the law office of Jimmy A. Bell, PC. Attorney Bell has received awards from the U.S. House of Representatives, the Senate of Maryland, the City Council of the District of Columbia, and the City Council of Baltimore, just to name a few.
Hi, I'm Jim Bell. Have you been discriminated against on your job? Have you been a victim of police brutality? Has one of your loved ones died because of someone else's negligence? Make an appointment, and let's talk about your case.
When it comes to going bald, you now have a choice. Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
It is your real hair. It's your natural hair. You wash it, you cut it, you swim with it.
Bosley is the world's most experienced hair restoration experts, having pioneered virtually every major advancement in the art and science of hair restoration.
I'm very satisfied, very happy with what I've done. This has got to be one of the best decisions I've made in my life, I'll tell you that.
Bosley Hair Restoration is a relatively simple outpatient procedure. The results look completely natural, and it's affordable on nearly any budget. Call the toll-free number now to receive your free, no-obligation information kit that will help you decide if hair restoration at Bosley is right for you. You don't have to accept going bald. Do something about it right now.
Call 1-800-499-5880. That's 1-800-499-5880. Call now.
The Men's Warehouse designer suit sale is going on now. For a limited time, when you buy one designer suit, you'll get one free. You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Rising energy costs aren't always easy to manage. Talk live with experts ready to answer your questions about lowering heating bills and how to help those in need of assistance this winter. The Energy Phone Bank, Thursday at 5 p.m. on News Channel 8. Brought to you by Dominion and Energy Share.
I hope we've helped answer some of your questions and concerns tonight, but we got to tell you, people aren't always happy with what happens right here in our show.
Yeah, we try to be as fair as we possibly can, but sometimes you can't please everybody. Have a listen.
Hi, I'm calling anonymously to complain about your show. I'm watching here on a Tuesday evening. Some customers had a problem with the credit card and the interest rate. You guys invited the National Bank Association. What a crap. So you should invite a customer advocate who can talk about the way they're changing the laws. The lady was lying because she represents the banks, and the banks are the one who's giving out the credit cards. To be fair, guys, you have to bring the other side. Otherwise, you are paid by these businesses. 7 on your side is not credible unless it balances.
All right, he's talking about Nessa Fettis from the American Bankers Association we had on here a while back to talk about the credit crunch and what the banks are doing to help homeowners. And
oh, he's ridiculous, Ross. Absolutely ridiculous. First of all, we don't get paid to do this show by anybody else other than our employers. No. And secondly, we are the consumer advocates. That's why we have her on, to have the questions answered, to say, here are the problems that the consumers are facing. Here's
because
what we
it's
think.
fair to have them, because we're criticizing the banks.
Right.
We're talking how the banks are cutting people's credit.
Right.
We're talking about what they're doing to consumers, and not to have them here to defend themselves and represent themselves would be a travesty.
Well, you know
that would not be fair.
And you know how ticked I get anytime somebody says that we're biased, because we go out of our way to try to represent both sides. And just because this guy doesn't agree with the American Bankers Association doesn't make us biased just because we want to hear what they have to say.
However, we are 7 on your side, and we try to help you with your problems. So if you need help, go to WJLA.com and click on 7 on your side, or call our toll-free hotline number.
That number, 866-236-3401.
And we will try to be on your side at the same time exhibiting balance and fairness. Okay,
but in 2 weeks, because the inauguration next week.
Next week, the inauguration. All right, thanks for joining us. And there you